Hello, my fellow readers. Normally, Sundays, I'm even more trying not to do stuff as far as negative news. Kind of hard right now in America, as some of the dolts say it. It's America, not America. Well, I live in America. It's I live in America. That's the name of the country. America, people. The people that scream they love the country the most are the ones that call it America. Oh, Rappy. Just America. Oh, is he gonna come ask for my tip? No, he's not gonna come. He knows I'm gonna tell. Sorry, I have to give them love when they ask because you never know. Anyway, normally I really try to stay away from political crap on the weekends unless it's really important. Like next week is obviously going to be important. And I won't be doing any videos, or not a lot of them on next Saturday, until I get back from the protest. And then I'm going to remember. Last time, I didn't even ask anybody to use my phone and take some pictures of me. I'm going to this time. I totally forgot. I know there's out there because at least a couple dozen people asked, "Can I get your photograph?" And I didn't even have this hair. It was just the blue hair. It was just this color. Um, and now it's now I'm probably gonna get not only that because I've got signs that I spray painted the base of the sign like silver, shiny silver, like spray paint silver, and some are gold on the base. If you've probably seen them, so they're definitely to catch attention, and that's because I want them to read the messages on them. I took my time. I didn't just slap messages on them, as you've seen me doing the different signs. I'm in New Jersey. The reason I'm making this video is because they have had a hard on Republicans for crashing down on New Jersey. They so want us red. His Bedminster is in New Jersey. He has to fight us like he's got the no alcohol. He doesn't have a license now. They just had a dismal health inspection. Dismal. It failed. Like seriously, ick. Sanitation shit. No hand wash. I mean, just nasty crap. And they failed before in prior years as well. They've had to have like re-inspections. I mean, like in big issues, not just a small little thing. If the state was red, there would be so much more complicit in letting him do whatever the f he wants. You know what I mean? Making it whatever rules so it works for whatever the hell he wants to do. Like get his license back, his liquor, you know. So ICE is slamming down on Jersey, and particularly starting this weekend, little cosplaying Kristi Noem is going to be joined. Apparently, she was in Newark Friday or Saturday, and Alina Habba has joined her in their little cosplay outfits. Yeah, there's a video of about it, or not a video, an article about it from Yahoo, and it's on my Facebook page of Democracy of the Resistance is the name of it. It's on there. You can look it up. It's Yahoo News. The last day or so. And ICE is doing part of the reason why Alina Habba is joining is because It's not like Massachusetts or some of the other states that they've done these massive, like, raiding and stalking the freaking streets type of shit. It's not like they even have a list of names or anything. They're just like going out there and, oh, you don't look American. Seriously, seriously. That's what it seems to be. Because they're going after. You saw that construction. I forget where it was. That construction place. The two people in the distance were like, "We know him. He was born in America. He was born in America, dudes." And he's like, "Yeah, I know. He's American." He's like, "What the fuck?" And you can hear the other guy saying, "It's because he doesn't look it." What the fuck does You don't look American. Why don't they just say what they mean? You're not white, so you can't be American. Which is bullshit. Because guess what? The Native Americans, that means the people that were here from time's end to start with, the people that were first on that land, that's what native or indigenous means, in case you didn't know. Because apparently a lot of people don't know what that means. Native American means you were here before the white people. What the fuck? Just because they have the same coloration as Hispanic people and Mexican people, you can't tell by looking at somebody who they are as far as what country they're a citizen of. So because you're in Africa, any white people you could just assume is not a citizen of the country? Because what? Because they're not black? And everybody knows Africa is black. Well, Africa has white people in it because they came and, like, they came here and they fucking stole shit and land and crap. Maybe that's why. But New Jersey has, it's like considered a sanctuary city. It has rules and laws that the police that are employed by New Jersey are not allowed to turn against their citizens, especially when it's not a legitimate law there that ICE is doing. I just discussed, they're not doing it in a legitimate manner. It's going by, oh, you look like you don't belong in America. If they even have a list of names, it's a very rough one. And anybody they see that they don't think is born in America gets grabbed up while they're going after the one or two people they're actually concentrating on. So they're grabbing up people all the fuck over the place. They don't know they don't know who they are. They're starting that in Jersey this weekend. We just saw what happened in LA. We've seen how other communities in different states have screamed them back, like, get back, get back. All of them, with their phones up, videoing as they're screaming and advancing. And the people behind them are doing the same. So we've got video of the neighborhoods just, go, go, get back, get back. Every time they take a step, the people in the middle, in the uniform, they're like that sand, cami type stuff. And you've seen it. And every time the citizens with the cameras take a step forward yelling, get back, get back. Every time they advance, those people step back with the weapons and everything. Because they know when the shit would hit the fan in court or something, if they really did something, those people know they're not legitimate law enforcement. They allowed themselves, if they've got their faces covered, I'm telling you, the reason they're probably a January 6er. A lot of the Republicans just decided on their own that they were going to allow any of the January 6ers that wanted to join to be part. So those are the ones. Why are their faces masked, you say? Well, they were pardoned. It's not like they escaped prison. Because when they were being sought after, being looked for and identified, their faces were plastered all over the media. And they're afraid that they're going to be recognized. Once they're recognized as a traitor, as a felonious traitor that was already convicted of it, the only reason they're not still in prison is a fellow felon pardoned them. But they know that if anybody recognizes them as one of the traitors, they're going to alert everybody that they are not genuine law enforcement. They were just given the title. You don't go through any of the training, none of the checks, then you're not legitimate. They know it. And they know if anybody can identify them as the person in that video doing whatever they did that was illegal, even now, they'll be in trouble once the grown-ups take over again. And they will have their sentence probably fucking double than what they had before. Seriously, because impersonating law enforcement, even if the president says it's okay, if it's an illegal law he's using, that doesn't protect you. It didn't protect Hitler's goons in the Nuremberg trial. It didn't protect them. I was doing what I was told because you're supposed to be giving your service to the country, not to the leader that is currently in the country, in charge of that country. Most countries are like that. They don't voice their allegiance to the current president. They voice their allegiance to their country and their countrymen. And they know once the grown-ups take control again, are in control again, they're going to have some serious fucking problems. That's why they cover their faces. So, I am not a lawyer. I am not, an expert. But for me, if I see somebody with their, that's not legitimate gear, don't want to give anybody says, well, what's your name? What's your badge? Let me see your badge. They won't respond. That's not legitimate law enforcement. I'm telling you, I was in law enforcement as a corrections officer. It's not cop, but it's still considered in the field of law enforcement. Therefore, I spent a lot of time with Border Patrol, cops, nurses, EMTs. These are people in the same field, firefighting. It's all kind of in the same, group, a sphere of careers. And many cop I've talked to over that decade, and I learned some interesting little tidbits that the average person also doesn't know that comes in handy for stuff like this, that kind of thing. You want to say he was a nice person. It's the same thing with the congressperson, the Jersey congresswoman. Because she was shoved into, there was a bunch of jostling, and her back, I guess there was an ICE person behind her, and she was kind of shoved in, and she was trying to move away and got shoved, and they thought she was, body slamming them or something. She was being pushed into them. That kind of thing. That's in court now. That's going to be same thing with, Barack, the mayor. That's going through the court system now because those were bullshit charges by bullshit officers. So as far as I personally go, if I happen to see any of them where I live, and especially if they're fucking with somebody that I know is legally here. Or even more, born here or something. I absolutely will not be recognizing those people as full official law enforcement. That's just me. Because they're not. And I know they aren't. In my gut of guts, in my heart of hearts, I know those are the only ones. And you can see the difference in how they go about their mission, let's put it that way. Cops are taught you don't just go in with fucking, pushing and shoving and demands, and you rise to the occasion. If the people around of the witnesses are, barraging you with what's your name, what's your you know what I mean? A legitimate officer will repeat, just like your name, serial number, badge, that kind of thing in war. Just your name and your serial number. That's all you need, type of thing. It's kind of the same thing on a lesser level. They have to, by law, tell you or make visible their name and badge number. If they don't have that, or a warrant not signed by another ICE agent, it must be signed by a judge, and underneath the signature would be typed out, Judge Bubba Bubba Ba. If they don't have that, it's not fucking legitimate. One ICE agent, hey, while they're having a sandwich, sign this. Oh, okay, now it's legit. It's a warrant with a signature. It's not. It's not. And I need you people, especially in the states that are being seriously a deluge on. Jersey is coming. We're up. We're up that right now. No, you're right. If they do not give you their name, where they're from, and know that in Jersey, the cops are not obligated at all. They're actually, no. You cannot just come in here and tell our cops to help you do your job. No, not when it comes to this illegal kind of shit. We've got laws here. And so they're not going to have the willing help of the police in Jersey, by most accounts. Shouldn't have. Which means there not any, or shouldn't be, any New Jersey police assisting this ICE group. Which means there's no there should be a lot more masked faces. And most of them probably are not legitimate cops or law enforcement. You need to go, just to work in a prison, you have to go through at least 3 months of an academy. From the time he pardoned them, they have not been. I can assure you. Otherwise, they'd be legitimate. And as cocky and violent as a lot of those insurrectionists are, absolutely, if they were legitimate cops, they would be prancing it and letting you fucking know, I'm legitimate, see my badge. People with that attitude of superiority and you have to listen to me, fuck off, kind of an attitude. Trust me, I have seen it many a time over in that job. Usually, they're only that big and bold when they have their buddies around them. If you surround kind of cut them off a little from their buddies, and their buddies go on their mission, and they get kind of stuck as a straggler maybe, not that you're doing anything, but you're just like bombarding them with questions or something, they're going to be a whole lot more of a pussy than they will with their others. Well, move! Get out of the way! Do you remember that? I can't remember where it was. That short, squat little shit fuck. all masked up with his gun, and nobody was in the way. There was a big wide swath they were walking down, and he was still barking and yapping. Get back! Don't bother us! I guarantee that was not a legitimate cop. When you work a long time around those kind of people, I was in the prisons, not the jail. I was a corrections officer in the state prisons in Arizona for a decade. You learn some things. You see some things. And you get to learn that kind of an attitude. They all kind of, I hate stereotyping, but it's true. Most of them have a lot of fucking bravado and yap when they have their buddies with them. If they're kind of strategically, separated, suddenly their yap zips up and they don't want to talk. Why? Because they're the ones that are a little nervous. That's what we want right now in America. We want the illegitimate, fake cops, ICE people. We want them to feel the fear that they are trying to instill in us citizens, people. We want the illegitimate, treasonous insurrectionists that are now acting like cops and ICE and law enforcement, cosplaying it, yapping away like they're big fucking piles of shit. We don't have to listen to them, especially in New Jersey, because we are not for them. This place is not hospitable to people that want to ruin this country and divide it by color and religion and culture and race and lifestyle choices. We don't go for that in Jersey. We don't go for that in a lot of sanctuary states. So what I'm trying to tell my fellow New Jerseyans, because our cops are not supposed to be assisting by our state laws that kind of illegitimate, illegal behavior, even if it's perpetrated by legitimate legal entities. Just because you're a legal entity doesn't mean what you're doing is a legal action. Me and mine, those folks are going to get no respect until they show me that they're an officer. If you don't give me a name and a badge number that I can verify, then you're not legitimate. Because if you were legitimate, you would be giving that information to people who ask. Because that is the law when you are a law enforcement agency. When you're an agent, when you're a cop, you are required, if you are asked for your name and badge number, to make that information available. If you refuse, and refuse repeated requests by different people especially, you are not legitimate, and I will not acknowledge your existence as a legitimate police entity. Because you're not. And I know the laws in my state. What the rest of you do is your choice. Because we still are America in some instances. We're still the America I know. And sanctuary cities are the most American because that's the way American rule has been. That's the law. And if anybody is fucked with and they're masked and they're around me, I am not going to just be a bystander who videos. I will be a bystander who videos and engages and demands, I want your name and badge number. I want your name and badge number. I want your name and badge number. What is your name and badge number? Who's your employer? What's your badge number? What's your badge number? Where's your identification? Do you have a warrant? Do you have a warrant signed by a judge? I want to see a warrant signed by a judge. Where's your badge? What's your name? Keep it up. That's what I'll be doing. Get back! I'm not touching you. I'm not impeding you. You're just standing there. What are you, I'm breathing your air? You're not doing anything. I'm not invading any space. You get back. You don't belong here. You're illegal. You get back! You want to yell? Get down! You get down! Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah. But that's me. I'm not telling anybody else to do that. But I will not be ordered around, shoved around, and told what I know are my rights as a citizen are not my rights by somebody who they themselves is most likely an illegitimate cosplaying insurrectionist pretending to be a cop, because we have sanctuary cities that they can't use our cops like they do in other states. Force our cops to combine with them against the citizens of their own state. Sanctuary cities, we have laws that you can't just come and force our fucking cops to turn against their own people that they're supposed to serve. F you people. F you. That's what sanctuary cities say to this illegitimate president, to this illegitimate administration, and to their illegitimate actions that they have been taking all across this gorgeous, beautiful fucking country that they are intent on destroying. They are the ones that do not love American values as they were. They are the ones that are wrong. I don't care what's coming out of their fucking lying, traitorous mouths. I don't care, because they hated this country enough to want to kill its vice president at the time. Those people in masks pretending they're ICE agents. They would have killed the vice president at the time if they had gotten a hold of him. Remember that when you have that little bit of fear and you see them in our New Jersey streets. Remember, they would have put up Mike Pence in that fucking gallows if they had gotten the chance. And look at him and those fuckers in the masks in New Jersey this weekend and this week. And I had a feeling, because let me tell you, there are elections in Jersey on Tuesday. I'm working a polling place, and I just put out a fucking post yesterday on social media saying I'm concerned that they're going to do some massive ICE thing on Tuesday during our elections to scare fucking citizens, not have them coming out. And then this morning I wake up to news that they started Friday or yesterday. I didn't know that. I did not know that they had already started targeting it, but I knew in my heart that with the election coming, that looks like I'm going to be making a call to Mikey Sherrill's office and Cory Booker's office and Andy Kim's office to ask what they're doing to guarantee that all of that shit is suspended for election day. That would be interference of elections, scaring people, because ICE knows it's election day and people are going to be out and about. This can be a very big problem if they're operating on Tuesday and doing shit like this during election. That can't be. So it's Sunday. I can't get anybody in the offices. I can't call anybody today, but I will tomorrow. Because it occurred to me Friday night. I'm like, oh boy, it just occurred. It was then that it was like, but I was so preoccupied with Raspy at the time. But I'm concerned about that. So be aware, guys. And just a suggestion. Because of the situation, we don't know what they're planning on doing on election day. If at all possible for you to vote, I believe voting is open on today. It might be early. We might have early voting. Hang on. I thought so. Early voting, it's limited hours. Obviously, all voting, early voting is limited hours. But it's like 10 to 4 or 10 to 6 or something like that. So if you can possibly have a way to get out, and if you have some transportation, I would vote early today or Monday, honestly, because I don't know yet if they're. Maybe I'll call the county clerk tomorrow morning also, not just Sherry Michaels or Mikey Sherrill's office. I'll call them and see for anybody in New Jersey. I'll see if they're taking any precautions or if there's any kind of provision to suspend that activity on election days. You shouldn't be intimidating, making an intimidating procedure or operation during an election day. And that's like so crooked, so corrupt. You scare citizens, and then the same citizens that you don't want to vote. So it's very, very serious because they're pushing so hard. They've gotten up quite a few Republican mayors into the state already. They want this Citronelli, I think his name is. They want him so badly as the governor, and we cannot allow that. We cannot allow that. Mikey Sherrill and Fulop are probably the biggest contenders, but what I don't like is Fulop is using. I got a text from the campaign, and I never applied for his campaign text, but it was like, we don't want to lose a seat because Mikey Sherrill is our rep in the federal Congress for our area of Jersey, and I had talked about that. Actually, I called our state senator, their office, and I talked about that last month. I asked about, I'm just concerned. I want Mikey Sherrill, but I'm concerned about her seat being open. If that happens, we can't lose it to a Republican. We can't. And that's what Fulop is using in his campaign text. We don't want to risk a seat, and I'm the best option, if not her. That's kind of slimy tactics in a way. That's my opinion. That's kind of slimy in a bit. But, you got to make your own choices on that. I think I know what I'm gonna. I do know what I'm gonna do. But you got to make your own choices. I'm not even telling you who. I told you the reasons why I'm leaning towards one and then not leaning towards that person. There's two legitimate reasons. Um, but I don't get a lot of texts from Cheryl either. So, you know, I'm not. I think either actually would do a good job, to be truthful, but I am preferring one over the other for my own reasons. But Jersey, be so careful right now and be aware. There's going to be a lot of fucking ice activity around. And I, for one, a lot of the neighborhood where I live, the neighborhoods actually, have a large concentration of not white people. And I'm not saying they're undocumented. They're all, every single one that I know or know of is on a legitimate program or was actually born here. Or one of the parents was, a citizen type of thing. And the other parent is on a program or something like that. And I don't know of one, honestly. I don't know of one that is not here under a documented program of some type. I know, Smudge. She says, "Me neither, Mom." I know. I know. Is she hilarious? That's her way of saying, "Mommy, enough talk of ice." But anyway, you can watch her. She's probably more fun to watch. New Jersey, please, please be careful. And ICE is gonna be there, I'll bet you, during the protesting. Unless Alina and Christy Nome want to be up in D.C. to be by Will Donnie so he could have his little jizz on his parade for his birthday that he's pretending is for the military's birthday, but is really for him. I'm sure Alina and Christy are gonna want to be in D.C. to hold Widow Donnie's hand so he could watch his parade ruin all the roads in D.C. Absolutely fucking insane. Jersey, be aware. Be careful. Be on guard. Don't let those illegitimate fucking pretend cops to take our fucking legitimate people. Not in our state, ICE. Not in fucking our New Jersey. Back up! And back out!